This video is brought to you by catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. This is, of course, the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com. Also available on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, and Google Play Music for those who don't want to see my ugly mug. This is, of course, Off the Script, episode 182, part number 3. For your Sunday, August 13th, 2017, man. I want to thank everybody for showing your love and support, as always, for Off the Script this weekend. Parts 1 and 2 are on the channel right now. Make sure you guys go and check them out. As soon as you are done here, we talk about Shinsuke Nakamura in hot water with Vince McMahon and Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks, the Bullet Club, teasing CM Punk with merchandise with CM Punk's likeness mixed with the Bullet Club, man. Listen, you know, it was in the news. People thought it was another fake story. It's in the news. It's being talked about. You know, there was a Being the Elite Q&A live the other night, and the question was brought up again. And I don't know if it was Matt or Nick who answered the question, but they teased, I believe it was a troll, that they call or text CM Punk every day asking him to come out of, you know, wrestling retirement and join the Bullet Club, man. If it does happen, it would be absolutely volcanic in the industry. I think people would fucking lose their minds, man. I think people would be busting nuts all over the place if CM Punk came out of retirement to join Ring of Honor and then join the Bullet Club. So that would be unbelievable. Imagine CM Punk versus Kenny Omega for the rights for the leadership of the Bullet Club. Imagine that. I mean, I'm getting fucking chills just thinking about that, man. But it is in the news. It was talked about. I read you a nice little article that went over it very nicely on part 2. If you guys want to go check that out. Both of those videos will be linked within this video. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Top right corner with that annotation in the top right corner of the screen. Also, I want to thank everybody for being highly entertained. I'm still getting questions and concerns and positive and negative feedback with the Sean's View skit that I did. CM Punk coming back to the WWE. Breaking news, 167-year contract from his dog, Larry. You know, so we talked about that. I want to thank everybody for showing me love. I want to thank everybody that's come over and found the channel. If you didn't have any idea who I was, I want to thank you guys for subscribing. It was something that needed to be done, and I wanted to entertain you fucking goons. And that's exactly what I do, and that's exactly what this platform is all about. It's about being entertaining. If you're not entertaining, then you're not really going to get anywhere here, man. So that was one of the things I wanted to accomplish. The other thing I wanted to accomplish is how easy it is for anybody. A person with 1 subscriber, it could be 100 subscribers, and in this case, 100,000 subscribers. How easy it is to clickbait. So make sure you guys go and check that out, man. Hopefully a lesson was learned, and if anything comes of that situation and I have to resort to doing that type of thing again, I will not be afraid to make another skit or parody video. Believe me. Believe me. Because I seen in my sub box, or I seen on YouTube, that Justin Bieber apparently is going to be teaming with John Cena. Again, more mistitling of fucking YouTube videos. He seemed to have not learned his lesson. But that's none of my business. It's none of my business, man. But if you guys were entertained by that, it is one of my funniest skits. JD impersonating Sean's View Entertainment, doing a CM Punk clickbaiting video, and then I do a reaction to his reaction video. It's good shit, man. So make sure you guys go and check that out. And thank you to everybody that has come over and subscribed to the channel. Thank you for supporting, and I'm glad I can make you guys laugh and entertain you during the week, man. I do want to make mention. Yes, I know Kenny Omega and Okada had their third match. I understand that. Yes, I did watch it. Yes, I will be reviewing it. Yes, it will be next week because the other two matches that I seen with Okada and Omega, I watched on more than one occasion. I think I watched the first one 3 times, and then the second one I watched twice. So this one I watched once. I want to go back and watch it again and make sure my notes are in line, and then I will give you guys a proper representation of what I thought from the G1 and their third confrontation, which apparently everybody was losing their minds. Oh, JD, it was better than their last two. Listen, I'm not going to give you my opinion here, but I loved their first match. I loved their second match. I know the third match was fantastic, but to say that that match was better than their first two, it's a stretch, bro. It's a stretch. And I will, as soon as I settle down and have a fucking moment to myself, I understand the finals took place. I understand it was this morning. I understand it was Omega and Naito. Believe me, you guys were telling me, JD, you got to go out and watch this match. It's a 5-star match. I seen something on Twitter where Naito pile-drived Kenny Omega through a table on the outside in the crowd. I will go over it. I will watch it, and I will lump both of those matches in one video next week. I will let you guys know when that is coming, because I know a lot of people want to hear my thoughts on it, being that I'm not a big New Japan guy. But I am going to be reviewing those two matches only. Don't ask me to review anything else. But Omega Okada for sure. As soon as I get a free moment to myself, I will watch Naito and Omega, which I know Naito won. Kenny Omega will not be going to Wrestle Kingdom to challenge Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It would have been amazing if he won the tournament 2 years in a row. But it's tough in that situation not to pull for Kenny Omega, being that, you know, a fourth match could be fucking colossal. And I don't know if there's been anybody that won the tournament 2 years in a row. You know, being that these guys wrestled for fucking 3 straight weeks, battering their fucking bodies and bruising their fucking souls. It's like fucking hell. I know Kenny Omega was interviewed saying that the G1 tournament is the most grueling 3-week stretch in wrestling, period. There's nothing that even comes close to it. And after what I seen these guys do it to each other, just by the clips I seen on Twitter, I mean, after wrestling for 3 weeks and then you want to get pile drive through a goddamn fucking table, holy shit. You know, and that wasn't the worst I've seen from Omega. You know, I seen him get urinagi'd by Evil on Twitter. I didn't watch that match yet. You guys were even asking me to fucking watch that match. I didn't watch anything from the G1. The Omega-Okada match will be the first match that I have seen from the G1. And then the Naito-Omega final is the second match that I will have seen as soon as I get a free moment to watch it. But it is coming. Believe me, I will watch it. I will review it for you guys, and we'll go over. Because the first 2 times that I reviewed Omega and Okada, they did major numbers. It's not like it's making me any money on here, but you guys want me to expand. I love good wrestling, and I will not miss this Naito match with Omega if you guys are telling me it's a fucking 5-star classic. So I will definitely review that for you guys right here on the channel. Please follow me on Twitter, JD from NY206 on the Twitter. And then YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe down below. Hit that bell for your notification, man. If you guys want to support the show, Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Make sure you guys go and do that, man. Quick update for the Patreon page. And I want to get this out in the beginning because a lot of you guys are fans of what I'm about to tell you. All right? I'm tired of waiting for Joe Cronin. I'm not going to be doing Beer Goons. I'm not going to be doing Beer Goons on Patreon. I'm not putting it as a $5 tier for my Patreons. And I'm not going to do it myself. If I want to do beer reviews, it will be this fall because fall is my favorite season to drink, man. There's no better feeling than sitting outside on a crisp fall night, you know, and one of those nights I'm talking about where you don't need a jacket, it's warm enough to be without a jacket, but it's cool enough to just fucking feel good, you know, sitting, drinking on a nice crisp fall night, drinking a beautiful pumpkin ale. Beautiful, man. So if I want to do beer reviews, I will do them on the channel like I did the Sean's View reaction video. If you guys are interested in that, I can always expand my content, which apparently I'm going to have to do because wrestling on YouTube is fucked up. Wrestling on YouTube is fucked up, man. Dank, of all people. I am the Dank Ops. Posted something on Twitter yesterday saying that his My Career videos did 200,000 views in like a span of 3 days. he made like $30 on those videos. He's like, I don't usually post this type of shit on Twitter, but I want to make sure you guys are aware of what's going on here. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. It's not even a wrestling-related fucking issue. That's a video game issue. That's a YouTube issue. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's bad. So I'm thinking of ways to expand. But as far as the Patreon goes, man, Beer Goons is no more. I'm not doing it for the $5 tier. I'm not doing it. I am going to replace it this coming week, as soon as I have time to get away from my work, because this week is going to be massively busy, man. I got House of Glory, Summerslam's coming up, Takeover. I got a bunch of shit going on this week. I am going to give you guys, for the $5 tier, every single Monday, which is going to be easy. It's going to be a lot easier for me to entertain you guys with this. I'm going to give you guys Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart Mondays are exclusively coming back to Patreon. I can't upload it on YouTube. I will not upload it on YouTube because I can easily get flagged. If I monetize Nintendo content, I am at risk of getting flagged. I don't want to do that. I'm bringing it to Patreon. You guys are going to get it ad-free. You guys are going to get rage-filled Mario Kart gameplay on the Nintendo Switch every single Monday, 45 minutes to an hour of Mario Kart Monday. So if you guys are interested in that and you want to see that, Patreon is the only way to see it because there's no other place to put it. So if you guys are interested in that, Mario Kart Mondays for the $5 tier on Patreon.com. Plus, you're going to get Off the Script Retro, early access to Off the Script every single weekend. You guys are unbelievable, man, for the support that you've been showing me on Patreon. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And I do want to apologize for not getting Off the Script up to you guys last night for the Patreons, man. I was dead fucking tired, man. I watched the Omega-Okada match, and that was it, man. I passed out. I'm done. I'm done. So that was it. And it was something that there was no news. There was no news mixed with that. It's like, why even come on here and do a video, man? Why even come on here and do a video? So it is what it is. But I want to thank you guys for showing support on the Patreon. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And you guys have been beasts, as always. Patreon shout-outs and subscriber stories coming up at the end of this video with the off-the-script mailbag, man. So thank you guys so very much. Let's get into the news, man. There's not much, but we're going to go over what we got. And I'm going to start off with this story on John Cena. Apparently, John Cena is coming to Monday Night Raw. John Cena is moving to Monday Night Raw. So there are now rumors about his impending inclusion on the Monday Night broadcast. John Cena will be facing off against Baron Corbin at SummerSlam this year in a match that is absolutely pointless and worthless to everybody. Rumors have been flying over the past few weeks about Cena moving over to the Raw brand in the very near future. Cena is a free agent in the WWE and is able to move from Raw to SmackDown and back and forth however he pleases. It appears as if WWE fans should expect to see him switching brands very soon. The Barclays Center in Brooklyn tweeted out that Cena will be appearing on Raw after SummerSlam. And this is from their official Twitter account, and I quote, "We're 10 days away." This was posted on the 11th. "We're 10 days away from WWE Monday Night Raw. Don't miss free agent John Cena live here in Brooklyn on 8/21. Hashtag WWE Brooklyn." This could just be for a dark match. Don't read too much into this. I say it all the time. Don't read too much into this, as the company and the Barclays Center and the arenas that the company is holding these events in, they want to generate interest for their shows. Okay, now, the Monday Night Raw after SummerSlam really doesn't need to generate interest like that. People are going to tune in anyway. It's not as big as the Raw after Mania, but it's got the same feeling around it. You know, it's going to be a really, really heavy, smart mark crowd, and it's going to be one of those nights where WWE thinks they're in Bizarro world, where they're not. You know, it's normal WWE fan atmosphere. It's the way the atmosphere should be. It's not Bizarro world. So please don't put down your fans like that. They want to cheer and boo for whoever the fuck they want. Or because they're not doing what you expect, that doesn't make them bizarre. You fucking goon. You know what is bizarre? The fact that Eva Marie didn't get a women's title match and a women's title reign because she gave me so many different flavors of, wood. You know what else is bizarre? The fact that everybody likes, what? Nakamura? chicken sandwiches. Of course, Samoa Joe. It's bizarre that he's even in the main event. We don't put fat slobs in the main event. He wants to be a spokesman for Ruby Tuesday. He can go and do that. But in the main event of SummerSlam, you think Samoa Joe's gonna win the Universal title? Whatever, man. Where was I? Dark match segment. It's probably going to be a dark match for John Cena. I would be surprised that coming out of SummerSlam with Baron Corbin and John Cena and their match at SummerSlam, I would be surprised to see Cena just show up on Monday Night Raw and do something else so quickly after Baron Corbin. It would really put the staple on, you know what, Baron Corbin versus John Cena at SummerSlam is really a waste of time. So if John Cena shows up on Monday Night Raw, that's going to be a waste of time. It really is. I know the match is going to be a waste of time. I couldn't give one fuck about that match at all. But having John Cena show up on Monday Night Raw after SmackDown and his match with Baron Corbin would really say, you know what, this match is fucking trash. It's pointless. And then Cena's going to go off and do something else entirely on Monday Night Raw. Now, what if he does move to Monday Night Raw? What if he does move to Monday Night Raw? There's obviously matches I want to see over there. Clearly, WWE cannot be so foolish, or maybe they are, to do Roman Reigns versus John Cena so soon. I don't see that match happening at a B-level pay-per-view. I don't see it happening at Survivor Series. I don't see it happening at the Royal Rumble. If that match is going to happen, it's going to take place at WrestleMania. No question. No question. John Cena versus Braun Strowman. That's something I'd like to see. John Cena versus Samoa Joe. That's something I'd like to see, right? John Cena versus maybe a Finn Balor. That's something I'd like to see. There's matchups over there on Monday Night Raw for John Cena. But the thing is he going to be really one of these guys that WWE is going to try and get all these matches out of because they know it's the end of the line for John Cena, or they're going to use him in an important way? We don't know John Cena's schedule. I just don't want to see him thrown into these big-time matches just for the sake of it, just to get them over with, and then there's no build, there's no hype. Like, why is he fighting them? What is his reasoning for going to Monday Night Raw? A lot of this needs to make sense. You just can't take him from a Baron Corbin match and a feud on SmackDown Live and put him in a match with Samoa Joe. What if Samoa Joe wins the Universal Championship? We don't even know that yet, We don't even know what's going to happen with the Fatal 4-Way. You're going to put him in a match with Braun Strowman? What's WWE's planning here? What is their idea? It's like they just want to rush to get these matches out of John Cena because they know that they have very, very limited time with him. And I wouldn't operate that way. If it happens, it happens. Don't push the subject. Don't rush the subject. Don't do something because you want to get it done now. The more you rush, the more it's going to come off that way, and it's not going to feel special. With John Cena, no matter if you love him or hate him, I don't give a fuck what you think about John Cena. This is my show. I can say whatever the fuck I want about John Cena. I appreciate John Cena. I don't hate John Cena like I did years ago, okay? And I didn't even hate John Cena the man. I hated John Cena the character, just like I hate Roman Reigns the character. Roman Reigns now is this generation's John Cena. I have a feeling when John Cena is gone and Roman Reigns has been there just as long as John Cena, I have a feeling that I'm going to actually be warming up to Roman Reigns. Because I warmed up to John Cena. More times than not, his resume speaks for itself. Whether he's a fucking 16-time world champion or you hate him or not, it doesn't matter, man. The resume that this guy has assembled and the credibility that he has assembled, the matches that he's put together with some of the biggest names that this company has ever seen, even with some of the mid-card guys, it can't be overlooked. He's had great matches with Neville, Zayn, Umaga, right? He had great matches with Punk. He had great matches with Lesnar. He had great matches with Styles, right? Rollins, Owens. John Cena's been all over the map. He's wrestled guys big, small, different styles and all that. And you can't tell me that those matches that I named were not fucking just out there great matches. So don't give me the shit about John Cena sucking. Don't bring up the bullshit that John Cena ruined careers. It may be true. It may not be true. But you got to understand that John Cena's resume and the credibility that he has accumulated over the years speaks for itself. So whatever John Cena does on Monday Night Raw, yeah, I'm going to be interested, but I don't want WWE to do it just because they have to do it because John Cena is limited. I want it to be special. If it happens, it happens. If not, don't rush it. That's all I'm saying. So I'm thinking this is nothing but a dark match type situation to add some more juice to that New York crowd. They're going to get the Monday Night Raw, and then they're going to get free agent John Cena after the show. They might have a dark match or stare down with Roman Reigns or something, you know. Maybe a dark match with I don't know, it could be Braun Strowman. I don't know, something along those lines. Something that's going to be off camera. So we don't know yet. This is merely just probably dark match promotion to get people more excited for the Barclays Center and add a little bit more spice to what is already going to be a hot Monday Night Raw. That's all I'm thinking about. So don't look into it too much. If he happens to be on the show, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I have all the answers, but if he shows up on Monday Night Raw, John Cena himself is going to make the show a lot better, because John Cena, in a big situation like that, always delivers. And I'm not really afraid of WWE going wrong with John Cena being on Monday Night Raw, because he's always great. When he's got a microphone in his hand and he's talking about something big and in a big-time situation like that, more times than not, John Cena is going to make you excited about something. So we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw. Cyborg, remember the name Cyborg, man. Chris Cyborg challenging Becky Lynch to a match at SummerSlam. Apparently, she posts an interesting reason as why her match with Becky Lynch isn't happening at SummerSlam. There have been rumblings that a match between Becky Lynch and Christine Cyborg Justino could be happening at SummerSlam this year. Becky and Cyborg were going back and forth on social media for the past several weeks. This included teasing a potential match between them at SummerSlam. There wasn't any official indication that a match was happening, but Becky and Cyborg were certainly building towards something. Cyborg took to Twitter to say that she is disappointed that she isn't going to be facing Becky at SummerSlam. She implies that a four-horsewoman didn't want her in the ring before her. The four horsewoman she is referring to is likely Ronda Rousey, who is heavily rumored to be working with the WWE in the near future. And she posts on Twitter, and I quote, "Disappointed Becky Lynch isn't stepping into the ring with me at SummerSlam. I heard a four horsewoman doesn't want me in a WWE ring before her." Pretty interesting post from Cyborg, who might just have essentially confirmed that Ronda Rousey and something along the lines of the UFC version of the Four Horsewomen is coming in and going to be wrestling for the WWE. As for a Becky versus Cyborg match, I think, it could eventually happen in the future if WWE wants it to happen. I don't see any reason for it to happen. I don't see the issue between them, and it's not something that I'm going to lose sleep over. The fact that it's not happening at SummerSlam, where there's already fucking, what is that, like 14 matches already for SummerSlam being rumored. The fact that this match is not happening at SummerSlam, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Believe me. So Cyborg and Becky Lynch is not happening at SummerSlam, not happening this year, but we are going to be talking more about Ronda Rousey in the weeks to come, because I do believe once we see the Mae Young Classic finals, that shit will go down with the WWE version of the Four Horsewomen going up against UFC's version of the Four Horsewomen. So more news to come, I am sure, on that front. I will keep you guys updated as soon as I hear anything regarding that huge developing situation. And we did talk about it. If you guys want my thoughts and opinions on a multitude of things, part 2 is the video you guys are going to go and watch, because that's where I report the Ronda Rousey being trained by Brian Kendrick story. And I go into how important that match could be, how I would love to see it. It's just, WWE, again, taking part-timers and taking the part-timers and putting them on their big shows and taking spotlight and time away from the females in this situation. In this case, in the females, eyes, they're going to have this time taken away from them. And more part-timers coming in. But, I don't blame WWE for doing it. It's just something that I'm thinking about. Just like how WWE brings in, the big part-timers for WrestleMania, or tries to bring in big names for WrestleMania, ultimately taking spotlight away from the people who are on the road 300 days a year. It's ridiculous. And I made a valid argument that WWE has a roster assembled right now, and will have an even greater roster by the time WrestleMania 34 comes, where they don't even need part-timers. They should put all that effort and energy into building the guys that they got now to make them big enough stars for the people to see and want to see, instead of bringing in a name from the past. The only names right now that are credible that WWE could really bring in for a big-time spot at one of these major shows You know, we've seen the Goldbergs, we've seen the Stings, right? We've seen the Hogans, and they're all aging. They're all aging. You know, we can see The Rock. The Rock is still, I'm sure, more than capable of going. CM Punk, if he ever comes back to the WWE. Yeah, there really is nobody else. Austin's not going to do it. Shawn Michaels, I mentioned, I fully believe Shawn Michaels has one more match left in him. It's up to him if he ever wants to do it, but I don't think it's going to happen. WWE's running out of part-time guys, man. So one of these years, that well is going to run dry, and you're going to look at your roster and think, wow, we could have put all that energy into building the guys that we got now to make them on the level of which they should be, in a level where people want to see and pay their money to see these guys that we got. Their roster is too good now. You don't need to dip into that proverbial cookie jar and pull out another part-timer when you got a roster assembled like you do right now for both Raw and SmackDown. I mean, look at fucking look at the SummerSlam card, man. 14 matches between the two shows. There are guys that are going to be left off. There are matches that are going to be left off. You know, people are going to be burnt out by the end of the night. It is what it is, man. But that's something WWE is going to have to really, you know, fix when it becomes an issue in the future. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm not going to be for a 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen match. It's something that in this lifetime we'd never thought would actually come to be. But the whole idea of them, no matter how important they are to the overall grand scheme of things, you are taking, you know, women's spotlight away because they aren't a Bayley or a Sasha or a Charlotte or a Becky, you know. But it is what it is, man. Maybe in their mind, that would in turn have them work harder so that they can get that kind of spotlight later on in their future. I don't know, man. It is what it is. I will share whatever news I have on the Ronda Rousey front for SummerSlam and going into the remainder of the year. It's looking like more like a Survivor Series thing. It could be a Survivor Series thing they're talking about, but any news on Ronda Rousey, I will let you guys know right here on Off the Script. Going back to the John Cena news. Listen to this. Now, I just spent a good 5 minutes telling you how I appreciate John Cena's work. Some of you hate John Cena for this very exact reason. Former WWE writer explains how John Cena helped kill off a storyline between him and Dolph Ziggler. Listen to this. Former WWE writer Kevin Eck was recently a guest on the Wade Keller Pro Wrestling Podcast. I enjoy Wade Keller. I think he's a great insight to what we see on television, especially when he's on Stone Cold's podcast, man. Some of my favorite stuff to listen to during the week when he does appear on Stone Cold's podcast. Eck and Keller were discussing the upcoming match between John Cena and Baron Corbin at SummerSlam. Eck was saying that the match is a test for Corbin, and impressing Cena could go a long way for his career moving forward. Eck shared the same story about when Cena and Dolph Ziggler began working with one another in 2012. Cena apparently wasn't impressed with Ziggler and gave his honest assessment to Vince McMahon. And I quote, Cena will be very honest to his assessment of you. Dolph Ziggler's the first guy that comes to mind. When they had a singles program together in the beginning, John was all for it. John wanted to work with Dolph, and they did the house show loop together, and as a heel, the heel traditionally calls the matches, and John was letting Dolph call the matches, and John wasn't impressed. There have been rumors that Vince McMahon hasn't always been fully behind Dolph as a talent. Cena's assessment plus his Vince's feelings on Dolph led to the storyline being nixed. And I quote, and apparently John gave his assessment to Vince of Dolph, and I think that sort of played into Vince's thoughts already about Dolph Ziggler. And once that program ended, it ended rather abruptly because Vince told us in a booking meeting one day, and I quote from Vince McMahon, God, I think we're doing a disservice to John Cena. This is bringing John down. And so Dolph was moved out of the program. End quote. If Baron Corbin doesn't do well at SummerSlam, believe me, I am going to be watching that aspect, and that's probably the most interesting aspect. The fact that there's no storyline between these two at SummerSlam right now could be pointless. We could be looking at the end. We could be looking at the stalled push. We could be looking at the shovel being brought out for Baron Corbin at SummerSlam. If he does not perform in this match with John Cena, Corbin could be in for a very long 2017. Remainder of 2017 going into 2018. That's a big pressure situation, man. That is a fourth quarter, fucking 4th down and 10, last play of the fucking game type situation. This is a fucking bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, 3 balls, 2 strikes count, 2 out. This is that type of situation for Baron Corbin. If you don't succeed here on the second biggest pay-per-view of the year for this company in a match with the number 1 man in this company, you're done. You're done. You know? If he killed off Dolph Ziggler like that, imagine what he could do to a newcomer like Baron Corbin. Or is he going to be a little bit understanding? Is he going to be a little bit more understanding now in 2017 as compared to 2012? I don't know how long Cena and Nikki have been dating. Maybe at that point, I don't know if they were dating in 2012 or not, Cena and Nikki Bella. Maybe he had some animosity towards Dolph because of, I guess the failed relationship of Dolph and Nikki. Maybe Dolph did something to cause that breakup and Cena wasn't happy about it. Maybe Cena's just a jealous guy. You know, the fact that he was working with somebody who was an ex of his current girlfriend. I have no fucking idea, man. Imagine how petty that would be. You know? Working with somebody who dated your current girlfriend in the past and you just want to fuck him over because of the history that they have together. She's mine now, motherfucker. Go fuck yourself. That type of situation. But maybe Cena now in 2017 is a little bit more understanding. 2012, he was still full-time. You know, now he's got a reduced schedule. Now he's there primarily to put over younger talent. Maybe he wants to work with Baron Corbin. Maybe he wants to put Corbin over. Maybe he wants to teach and mold Corbin. Maybe he's got some knowledge that he could, in turn spawn off into Corbin's direction and better him for the future. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. But the political nonsense, it's very apparent that if you are on a John Cena scale in the WWE, if you're on that John Cena-esque platform in the WWE, and the power that you have, look at how influential your voice is. You tell Vince McMahon something as being the number 1 man in that company, I don't like this guy. I don't like the way he worked. I don't like the match we had. And then Vince McMahon's going to take that and listen to him, right? And make his own judgments and pretty much base his judgments off what his number 1 man said. John don't like him? I don't like him. John don't like him? I don't like him. John likes him? We'll give him a shot. Glorified yes men is what CM Punk said, right? With the pipe bomb. Glorified yes men like John Laurinaitis. There you go. And he even stated, you're pretty good at kissing Vince McMahon's ass, but not as good as Dwayne, though. Dwayne was a pretty good ass kisser. There you go. Everything CM Punk said, whether it was a fucking, whether you guys like CM Punk with a pipe bomb or not, work, shoot, whatever. Whatever CM Punk was scripted to say in that promo, mixed with the real life tension that was going on, at the time, there you go. Everything that he said pretty much is coming to be. Everything he said was like a fucking glimpse into the future. It molded what we see now on WWE television. You look back at what CM Punk said in that pipe bomb, and you look at what we're seeing now and hearing now with these stories, you think back to what Punk said and like, Punk is right. Punk is like a fucking soothsayer. He's like a fucking genie. He's got a crystal ball in front of him, looking into the future. So John Cena ultimately buried Dolph Ziggler, and Vince McMahon never thought the same of Dolph Ziggler ever again from 2012. Never again. And that is clear because look at what Dolph Ziggler has done since that time and since he's been a world champion for a measly 6 weeks. He's never been the same again. He's never been the same again. And the influence of John Cena and guys like John Cena to guys like Dolph Ziggler, this is probably not the first time it's happened with guys like Dolph. It's one of the bigger guys, one of the bigger fish in the pond, say something, gets back to Vince, you're done. You're never going to get fucking pushed. You're never going to be trusted. Sucks. The political landscape in WWE is absolutely fucking bullshit. It's depressing. And I said it, Ziggler should work his remaining days. There's rumors about Dolph Ziggler being repackaged. Who cares? Dolph Ziggler should not be concerned about what WWE is going to be doing with him. He should be making plans for his future. Why don't you call up Nick and Matt Jackson and ask if there's any room in the Bullet Club? Seriously. I think Dolph Ziggler in the Bullet Club would be fantastic. Fantastic. Him in Ring of Honor, him in New Japan. I think he would succeed and follow the path that Cody Rhodes has paved brilliantly. And then he'll make WWE look fucking foolish. Just like Cody made WWE look foolish. They'll want him back just like they want Cody Rhodes back. Believe me. I think Dolph Ziggler's best best bet right now is to not worry about what WWE's going to do with him, because they're not doing anything with him. Get out of there and make yourself successful and make them look like the biggest fools in the industry, because I love seeing WWE being made a fool. I really do. It brings a smile to my face. It really does. The reason why Chris Jericho made a surprising return to SmackDown Live a few weeks ago. Chris Jericho surprised everybody when he appeared on the July 25th episode of SmackDown Live. Jericho ended up wrestling AJ Styles and Kevin Owens for the United States Championship, which was won by Styles. Jericho hasn't been seen since that surprise return, and it looks like it was a one-night-only kind of thing. So what is the backstory behind his return, and why did it happen? Chris Jericho gave us all the answers on a recent episode of Talk is Jericho during his interview with Fandango and Tyler Breeze. Jericho revealed the reason why he returned that night. Turns out that he was at SmackDown to film some stuff for Southpaw Regional Wrestling. That means more Clint Bobski. He also was at the show to record a podcast with Breeze and Fandango. He ended up getting roped into wrestling. Of course. Why not? Jericho's there to do some business. Why not get him on the show? I quote, "That's actually why I'm here today, to film that show, Southpaw, and talk to you guys. And now I got roped into having a match." Looks like Jericho had his wrestling tights in his trunk. Looks like WWE figured that they might as well use him if he was going to be in the building. There you go. Jericho comes back. It was a one-night deal. We probably won't see Jericho until 2018, probably for a WrestleMania match and build, because Fozzy right now, they have yet to come out with their new album. They're going to be touring in a little bit, so Jericho's going to be tied up with that. Having him there to do some business with Breezango and to film some Southpaw Regional Wrestling, WWE, of course, you know, he's in the building doing that. Hey, Chris, you want to work a match tonight? Put you in a United States Championship match, kind of, get back in there with Styles and Owens in the same match, triple threat. What do you think? You know, so they enticed him with that. Yeah, why not? Why not? It ended up being a good match, and it is what it is, man. So Jericho was brought back for one night only because merely he was brought in to podcast with Breezango and film for Southpaw Regional Wrestling. So there you go. Alexa Bliss explains how she can wrestle Sasha Banks even though they dislike each other. One of these myths that's floating around out there is that Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss hate each other for whatever reason. I am not really sure, but the one thing that I seen was that I think Sasha had an injury done to her by Alexa, and Alexa did not apologize. I don't know if it was a broken nose or something along those lines. Alexa inadvertently injured Sasha Banks, and Alexa did not apologize for injuring Sasha when that situation happened. I don't know when that was or how it came to be. That's the thing that I heard. There have been rumors circulating for a long time that there is legitimate heat between Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. Not in the sense of their characters disliking one another, but real life people. The real life people that are Alexa and Sasha just don't like each other. Whether this is true or not, Alexa and Sasha have both done a great job in making fans think that there is some genuine dislike between them. Alexa Bliss was recently a guest on the Cheap Heat podcast. She spoke about her relationship with Sasha and how they are able to be professional even though they don't like one another. This is what she said, and I quote, "I've always been the person to say business is business, personal is personal. I will never let my personal feelings about somebody get in the way of business. I want to have a productive match. I want to have a safe match. I want to have a great match. I want to take this company to the next level with our women, with this women's revolution. I've seen the things that she said about me. If that's how she feels, that's fine. But we know that we put it to the side and have a productive professional match because that's what it's all about. I'm trusting her with my body. She's trusting me with hers. And I will never, ever, I never want to leave somebody injured or somebody having a misstep or something happen in my match. So I know that no matter what, I'm always going to be professional in my work. It doesn't matter how I feel about her. The point is we have a job to do and we have to go and we have to do it well." End quote. Some of the comments that Alexa is referring to is when Sasha was on Raw Talk. The last time we seen Raw Talk and Sasha Banks ripped her on a Raw Talk segment. Maybe this is all a huge work. We don't know. But listen, the genuine interactions with Sasha and Alexa, just by body language, just facial expressions when they look at each other, when they're in the same ring. It honestly gives you that feeling that they just don't like each other, you know? And the fact that they are in the ring together and it's a little bit more believable than a standard women's match. You know, to me, a lot of the women now are a lot of fluff. They don't like to hit. It's not intense enough. It's like they're afraid to throw a punch because they're going to break a nail or they're going to pull out a hair extension. A lot of the women get by and they're not as intense. When Alexa and Sasha are in the ring, I feel like there's an intensity that's brought to the next level that we really don't see a lot with the women, you know. But whatever they're doing, it's working, man. It's making people talk. It's getting people to talk about them, and that's the best thing, man. When you got people talking about what you're doing and you can't blur the line between what is real and what is fake and what is scripted, that's a good thing, man. You're doing a very good job. And I can't wait to see that match at SummerSlam, man. You know, I've been bullshitting you guys saying that the only match I care about is the Fatal 4-Way. Obviously, I'm interested to see Nakamura and see what they do with the cash-in. I am definitely interested to see the continuation of Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss, because I thought their match at Great Balls of Fire was a lot to be desired. There was a lot left on the table there, you know, and the fact that we're more than likely going to see it again, I think they're going to have a great match. I think, you know, it's probably going to be one of the best women's matches that we've seen all year. And I know those two have the capability to do so. So I think it's the right match. WWE kind of took a little detour with this Bayley situation. You know, I don't know if that's scripted or not. There was news going around yesterday, I don't know if you guys heard, that Bayley was posing with Sasha Banks for the D-Generation X 20th anniversary. And they were posing in DX shirts. And Bayley was in a picture with Sasha Banks. Sasha was doing the whole Shawn Michaels pose. Bayley was doing the whole Triple H pose. She had no arm in her sling. She was not looking to appear injured. She did the Triple H DX sign with her arms in the air. So it's like people were asking her, you know, Bayley looks to be 100% healed. What the fuck's going on? I'm confused. And Bayley, you know, sarcastically tweeted out, yeah, so am I. Oh, you're confused too? Well, I don't get that. So WWE, again, making a huge misstep. Is this a fucking troll job? Is this legit? Because if Bayley's got a separated shoulder, there's no fucking way she's lifting her arms up to do a DX sign, posing with Sasha Banks. So I don't know if you guys seen that or not, but kind of fishy. So WWE took a detour with Bayley. Meanwhile, we all know that was the wrong decision. And maybe they realized that, you know, Bayley just needs to hit the reset button here. And we went the wrong way. So maybe they came up with some kayfabe injury, and they're putting Sasha Banks in this Women's Championship match because it was ultimately the right decision. And WWE realized that they were going with the wrong decision in Bayley. So we'll see what happens, man. Sasha versus Nia on Monday Night Raw this coming week. 1 week before SummerSlam to find out who fights Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam for the Raw Women's Championship. I got news here on GFW. Sienna. She comes at Charlotte for stealing her gimmick. So the talent in GFW is so salty about GFW sucking cock that you have to pick apart Charlotte and her peacock attire because you thought you came up with it first. I mean, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Ever hear that? So, whoever is stealing one another's look or wardrobe, you know, clearly Charlotte is watching GFW. I don't see why the fuck she would be. Or Sienna is watching Charlotte and she's gaining and getting influence and ideas from Charlotte, who is one of the best female workers in the business. Leave it at that. Why do you got to go to social media and cause drama? You know, because that's all social media is good for. And we've seen several rival companies copy each other in one form or another. Nothing is genuine or nothing is original in the wrestling industry. It's all been done before, you know. It's very difficult to stand out on your own and be fresh and new in the wrestling industry. Same thing with music. Everything's been done. Everything has been done. Now, one GFW knockout is claiming the queen of SmackDown Live, Sienna, is stealing my gimmick, Charlotte. The queen, Charlotte, she is being nailed for jacking her look and signature gesture, and she doesn't sound happy about it. It's pretty hard to argue that these two don't look similar when you see side-by-side comparisons. But it's also likely this is done by accident. But when Charlotte and Becky Lynch started doing the pinkies up gesture, that might have been the straw to break the peacock's back. Charlotte has only recently started sporting the peacock feathers since WrestleMania 33. Sienna the Savage obviously took exception to this gimmick infringement. Charlotte's makeup is also pretty close to that of Sienna's with the wings she has coming up from her eyes. So who knows? Sienna might actually be onto something here. If anything, the 29-year-old knockout might just be a trendsetter, but she's still not Ric Flair's daughter, so the point goes to Charlotte regardless. On a side note, Sienna's Wikipedia page currently says she invented feathers, makeup, and pinkies. That will probably be changed pretty soon enough. Who cares? This is pointless fucking news. This is the news that's in the fucking dirt sheets this week. 1 week before SummerSlam, I'm talking about fucking Charlotte Flair and Sienna fucking peacock feathers. You believe this shit? My God. Get me off YouTube, man. Get me off YouTube. I got news here on Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette in the news again for his big mouth. This time against Joey Ryan. Fucking Joey Ryan. Jim Cornette has made his opinion known about Joey Ryan and his Penisplex on several occasions. You know, I give the Penisplex to your fucking sister every Wednesday night before NXT, bro. She loves it. She loves it. The Penisplex, one of the most ridiculous moves in all of professional wrestling. Mick Foley recently took a Penisplex in Dublin, Ireland. The internet wrestling community went crazy after the mind-blowing spot. While some loved it, others had a differing opinion and couldn't believe Mick Foley would do such a goofy wrestling spot. When people start discussing the new wrestling that traditionalists despise, Ryan's signature move is often on the top of the list. Many people on Twitter decided to reply on this subject, and responses range from favorable to not too much. Agreed, I quote. Mick just seems like a nice guy. Probably tough for him to say no. Or maybe he likes Ryan. Hard to tell, but I'm not loving it. This is the first time I've seen this stupid shit, and Jim Cornette is 100% correct. It's no wonder people don't enjoy pro wrestling anymore. Meanwhile, 2,200 people in the National Stadium and almost all of the OTT locker room were watching this and having a great time. Cornette replied to a couple comments to let his opinion be known. Once more, he wasn't the biggest fan of Mick Foley for taking the Penisplex and a bump from Joey Ryan's penis. Listen, I don't care either way. Joey Ryan is a novelty act. He is on the scale of a Santino Marella, right? You know, the guys in the locker room were having a great time. Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you come to work? You want to come to work and fucking be feeling like shit. You want to come to work fucking disappointed and unhappy where you are. If Joey Ryan is putting smiles on people's faces, why can't we just leave it at that? Why do we have to dip so deep into the fucking bullshit? Obviously, it's not something that the traditionalists are going to like. But the traditionalists also don't like. Jim Cornette doesn't like Kenny Omega for whatever reason. He feels like Kenny Omega is exposing the business because he wrestled a fucking blow-up doll. You know? So, you're looking at that, but you're looking at the grand scheme of things in the Kenny Omega realm, and you don't realize that this guy's one of the best fucking wrestlers in the world? I mean, give me a break. Who cares? You know? Some parts of wrestling are supposed to be entertaining. Yes, I understand that. I am more of the one who wants to see wrestling for wrestling. I don't want to see people wrestling blow-up dolls. I don't want to see fucking people taking penisplexes. But I'm not going to sit here and shun Joey Ryan. He's built a fucking nice little niche for himself. He's a comedy act. He fits into the category of the Santino Marellas. I didn't like Santino Marella. I thought Santino Marella was fucking awful. I thought he was get off my TV fucking grade A degenerate worthy. You know, I couldn't stand Santino Marella, but the fact that, you know, he made people laugh, he made people smile, and he fit into that niche, that little niche in wrestling that is the comedy wrestler. Joey Ryan is a comedy wrestler. And if Mick Foley, you know, wanted to fucking play along because he's a fan of the comedy that Joey Ryan is, and he wanted to take a penisplex, let him take a fucking penisplex. You think it's gonna fucking it's gonna hurt Mick Foley's Hall of Fame career because he took a fucking penisplex from Joey Ryan? Who cares? Who cares? Now, I wouldn't take a penisplex from Joey Ryan because I don't want to grab another man's junk. But apparently Mick Foley didn't have a problem with it, and he went along with it, and he wanted to put a smile on people's faces. So be it. You know, Jim Cornette is an old school mind. You know, they weren't doing penisplexes back in the day, you know. So him seeing that, you know, it is what it is, man. Jim Cornette and guys like Jim Cornette, I love listening to. I love their old school mentality. I love their way of thinking, but they are people that are so stuck in the past and they don't want change. They are afraid of change. They are afraid of embracing change. The flips and the dives and the ricochets and the Will Ospreys and the fucking Kenny Omegas and all these guys fucking doing random fucking crazy shit. No storytelling in the ring. Flips and dips and dives and fucking skives. I'm fucking rhyming like Sean's View Entertainment over here. Whatever. Words that don't even fucking exist in the English language. It is what it is, man. You gotta embrace the modern day pro wrestling landscape. The more you bitch and complain, and I could be fucking hypocritical here because I bitch and complain every day, nothing's gonna change on WWE's end. I'm here to just give you guys logical fucking reasoning as to where I'm coming from and what I'd like to see. But, you know, Jim Cornette's bitching and moaning about fucking the modern day wrestling landscape is not gonna change. It's not gonna change. But you gotta appreciate his passion. That's the one thing I could say about Jim Cornette. You appreciate his passion. But Joey Ryan giving a penisplex here and there is not going to fucking ruin wrestling in general. He's a comedy niche. Leave it at that. You're not going to see Joey Ryan winning world championships. Now, if Joey Ryan was a fucking world champion and doing penisplexes on fucking on the independent circuit, winning championship titles, then I got a problem with it. If Joey Ryan is staying within his boundary and he's not overstepping that boundary, he's not winning world championships with the penisplex or anything like that, then, you know, it's a little bit more easy to swallow. But if he was winning world championships with the penisplex, I would have a problem with that. Then that's when I would voice my opinion that this is a fucking embarrassment. The fact that he's within his boundaries, he's not overstepping those boundaries, he's doing what his character is doing and supposed to do, leave it at that. Leave it at that. It's the best way for me to put it. It's not that big of a deal. You're not going to lose sleep over fucking Mick Foley taking, or you shouldn't lose sleep over Joey Ryan giving Mick Foley a fucking penisplex. Jim Cornette should worry about giving the penisplex to his wife. Maybe he'll let go of some of that anger, you know? I hear that's a good remedy for just fucking, letting go of that anger, bro. You know, get some fucking penisplex action going on your wife. I'm sure she'll appreciate it, you know? What else do we got here, man? What else do we got here? We got major creative plans for Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon following SummerSlam. What I want to tell you guys is whether it's before SummerSlam or after SummerSlam, you guys can do two things to support this show, man. Number one, barbershopwindow.com. So if you guys are going to be meeting and greeting me, I'm going to be in Brooklyn all weekend long, man, this coming weekend. I want to see each and every one of you motherfuckers with an off-the-script t-shirt. Probably too late now to order because it takes 7 to 10 days to order, so we got 1 week. But if you guys are going to be in and around Brooklyn, coming into Brooklyn, out of Brooklyn, wherever the fuck you're going to be in and around SummerSlam weekend, I want to see you guys with off-the-script t-shirts, man. If you guys want to support the show, a great way to do that is through Barbershop Window and my online store. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Link is down in the description below. Use the coupon code JD17 at checkout for 20% off your entire order. Whether you order one shirt, whether you order all 9 shirts that are on there, you guys are going to get 20% off your entire order, man. Great way to support the show and look good while doing it. And I hope to meet a lot of you goons at SummerSlam weekend or on SummerSlam weekend wearing off-the-script merchandise. And if you're lucky, the Beaver, Kevin Dunn, will be in attendance, man. And I'm talking about Kevin Dunn coming to SummerSlam, drinking at the bar with us, man. So it's going to be a good old-fashioned fucking Wood Nakamura. He'll be there. So make sure you guys come out wearing some off-the-script merchandise, man. barbershopwindow.com/off-the-script. The other great way to do that is Audible, man. audibletrial.com/off-the-script. All new listeners, and I have plenty of new listeners this week, man. So if you guys are listening and you're new, take advantage of this offer, man. audibletrial.com/off-the-script. Use that unique link to get yourself 1 free audiobook of your choice. Over 180,000 books to choose from, man. And speaking of Kevin Dunn, he's talked about a lot in the new Justin Roberts autobiography, man. So make sure you guys check out Justin Roberts' new book if you guys want to hear the backstage political bullshit that he was put through by Triple H, Vince McMahon, and Kevin Dunn. It's all in there, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Enter that into your browser, sign up, enter the appropriate information, and you got one free audiobook waiting for you and 30 days free to try Audible service out. Whether you got Android or iPhone devices, you're good to go, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. We're going to end this week's podcast, man, with this. Massive creative plans on Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon following SummerSlam. For some time, the WWE Universe was under the impression that creative plans for Kevin Owens heading into SummerSlam were to begin a feud and have a match with Shane McMahon at the biggest party of the summer. On Smackdown Live, there's been a lot of tension between McMahon and Owens as of late the last couple of weeks, but Shane will serve as the special guest referee during Owens' rematch for the United States Championship against AJ Styles at SummerSlam. The expectation is Kevin Owens will fail to reclaim the United States Championship from Styles at the biggest party of the summer. More importantly, Owens will blame his misfortune on Shane McMahon. Many fans believe it will set up a one-on-one match between the two that will take place down the line. While that may be the plan, it's being reported that creative plans for their feud will take the fans into Survivor Series. The latest rumors are claiming that the conflict between Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens will eventually lead to a huge Team McMahon versus Team Owens match at Survivor Series in November. The fans are expected both men to act as captains for their respective teams, and both men will wrestle in the match. It's likely that McMahon and Owens may be the final competitors in this match to end their feud once and for all. On paper, Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens have a strong babyface and heel dynamic that the WWE fans would love to see in a feud. The WWE Universe would appreciate the storyline, especially since it could be a very important rivalry for Owens on SmackDown Live. If WWE officials continue to keep the momentum of their feud going strong over the next 3 months, it may do a great deal to further establish Kevin Owens as a top heel in the company. It's also being reported that WWE officials are planning to make the WWE Survivor Series pay-per-view much bigger this year than it was last year. The powers that be want the Raw versus SmackDown Live vibe alive at the pay-per-view, but they're looking to have more singles matches this year instead of having more traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series matches. If that is the case, Owens versus McMahon could be the only match of its kind on the card, which means WWE officials will push it as the top gimmick for the pay-per-view. Very interesting, to say the least. Now, one thing I want to pretty much go over here is that the Raw versus SmackDown Live dynamic, or the Raw versus SmackDown Live vibe that this report talked about, is pretty much non-existent right now for both shows. So the fact that WWE has pretty much ignored Raw versus SmackDown and the competitive nature of this brand split, by that alone, it's not going to make Survivor Series important at all. Because if Survivor Series is supposed to be the Survivor Series, which brand is the best? Brand supremacy, right? It all ties into the Survivor Series theme. Who and what brand will survive in the end? What brand is going to be coming out looking dominant from the Survivor Series? There's been no issue between Raw and SmackDown. You know, ever since Stephanie McMahon took that table bump at WrestleMania 33 and her inclusion on the show, which I'm grateful for, by the way, it hasn't been on TV. There's been no dynamic at all between Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle. There's been no competition between Raw and SmackDown. So how are you going to build Survivor Series in the dynamic of that Raw versus SmackDown vibe for Survivor Series if it hasn't happened all year? You expect me to care about the dynamic between both brands 1 month out as you build towards the Survivor Series? Now all of a sudden the rivalry is going to happen, right? We got Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. We haven't been feuding the two brands together all year, but 1 month will suffice, right? 1 month will be good for the brands to be head-to-head, and brand supremacy can be shown at Survivor Series. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You're not going to build brand supremacy and brand fucking territorial fucking feuds in 1 month. This should have been an ongoing thing. You know, this should have been an ongoing issue Raw hates SmackDown, SmackDown hates Raw, vice versa, you know? I don't understand why this hasn't been a thing. As far as singles matches go, are we going to see Raw guys versus SmackDown guys? Is that what the report is saying? Are we going to see a Finn Balor versus, I don't know, for example, an AJ Styles? Are we going to see a Braun Strowman versus a John Cena, right? Are we going to see, I'm trying to think here, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor maybe? You know, you got a multitude of fucking things you could do. But as far as the Survivor Series, 5-on-5 goes, I don't even know who could be on Team Owens or Team McMahon. The way I'm looking at it is, well, if Owens is going to have his team assembled, I'm thinking of a team along the lines of a Rusev. Owens is the captain, obviously. Rusev, Jinder Mahal, and you could probably put Baron Corbin on that team, you know. Team McMahon, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, Ty Dillinger. Give that spotlight to two guys who deserve a shot, you know, to win over the fans in that big situation. Because if you're going to put AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura and John Cena and Randy Orton on the same team, it's going to be like, you put all the biggest guys in that one match, and you're taking them away from the dream match scenario that you could have with the Raw versus SmackDown vibe. You know, I would rather put AJ Styles in that match because him and McMahon have a dynamic. Him and Owens obviously have a dynamic over the United States Championship, so that obviously makes sense. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, clearly you don't need to go into detail about what those guys mean to one another. Ty Dillinger, he's been teaming with Sami Zayn. Keep that dynamic going up. You know, Styles, McMahon, Zayn, and Dillinger in that match against Owens, Rusev, Mahal, and Baron Corbin. You know, there you go. I would like to see that. So, I don't know how you guys would assemble the teams. 5-on-5, I don't know who else you would put on Team McMahon or Team Owens. You know, SmackDown Live's roster really isn't all that thriving with talent that's been pushed. You know, you're not going to take a guy randomly who hasn't been on television for 7 months and put him on Team McMahon for no reason. You know, it's going to be something that WWE has to think about. But I like the idea. I like the dynamic. The only thing that I don't like is that WWE is moving away from the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series matches with Raw vs. SmackDown, because that match last year was fucking fantastic. If you guys remember that match. Shane McMahon was actually in that match. He took a spear from Roman Reigns. He fucking gave himself a concussion. That was probably the best match on the show. You know, outside that fucking bullshit that we seen with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. But that match was great. Now, it didn't have the build that I was hoping for, but in the end, having all those talents in the same ring, producing a match of that caliber was fucking fantastic. I would like to see that, but it would be more important if it was built up over the fucking a span of a year. You know, putting all those guys in the same ring together. And it really can't be all that, all that important, and you can't really invest time in it if there's going to be shakeups during the year because guys are going to be moved around. It's like a lot of things go into it to make it not feel special. So WWE has a lot of work to do if they want to make Survivor Series special. They got a lot of work to do to just make me feel like Survivor Series is worth watching. If there's no dynamic between Raw and SmackDown, the whole concept and the whole vibe of it is just going to be forced. And it's going to come off that way, and you're going to see it easily when you're watching Monday Night Raw and SmackDown building into Survivor Series. But the Team Owens and Team McMahon thing, the rivalry culminating in a big Survivor Series match, having that be the only Survivor Series match on the show, I wouldn't mind it as long as WWE, makes it feel important. Raw versus SmackDown. Raw guys versus SmackDown guys. Only time of the year that we're going to see it happen. If WWE wants to go forward with making Survivor Series that show, I'm okay with it. I really am. But it's got to feel important, and you need to make it feel important. And having it happen in 1 month, instead of having the fucking animosity between Raw and SmackDown build over a year is not the way to go. It's not the way to go, man. But that is off the script, guys. Thank you so very much for everything this weekend. Thank you for everything all week long. You guys are fucking beasts. Once again, please follow me on Twitter at JD206. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell for notifications. And make sure you guys show some love to the sponsors. audibletrial.com/offthescript. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Capbeast.com. Coupon code JD10 for 10% off. Custom-made logos on hats, caps, beanies. You name it, man. You're in the market for a cap or a beanie coming up with the winter. Winter will be here before you know it, man. Capbeast.com. Get your own embroidered logo on your own cap and beanie. JD10 at checkout. Fine people over at Cat Beast have been sponsoring the podcast all summer. And if you guys are listening to me on iTunes, man, please make sure to leave a rating. 5-star rating is always appreciated. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the show, as always. Episode 182 in the books coming up. The mailbag, man. Subscriber, stories, and Patreon shoutouts coming up next, right here on Off the Script. Everybody's favorite part of the show, man. Subscribers, stories, right here on Off the Script. The mailbag to round out this weekend's episode 182. If you guys want to get in your subscriber stories, email me, jdfromny206 at yahoo.com. If you guys are new to the show and you don't know what a subscriber story is, this show is heard by a lot of people each and every week. This show has affected a lot of people in various ways, man. So if you guys want to get in your subscriber stories, if you have something personal that you'd like to share with the Off the Script family, something that you're not afraid to be open and honest about, make sure you guys email me, man. I listen to everything. I read everything. And if you're lucky enough, we'll get it read right here on the podcast each and every Sunday. I want to thank everybody, first and foremost, for donating and pledging to the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. We had a pretty damn good week, man. I want to thank everybody that pledged and out of the kindness of your hearts support this show and what I am doing on here. Without you guys, it would be a very, very difficult task, and I'm going to do my best to get you the content that you so very much deserve, man. If you guys want to pledge $1 or more, okay, $1. It starts at $1. You guys get early access to Off the Script each and every single weekend. Plus, you get exclusive entry into my Off the Script Discord. If you guys want to talk about the hottest news and rumors and make some new friends, man, that's where it's at right there on my Off the Script Discord. If you guys want to raise that to $3, Off the Script Retro, where we review earlier pay-per-views in the WWE, man. Old school pay-per-views. We started with 1992 because I loved 1992, starting from the Royal Rumble. Right now, for $3 or more, you can listen to the 1992 Royal Rumble review, WrestleMania 8 review, and just as of this week, SummerSlam 1992, Bret the Hitman Hart versus Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. Right now, I am in the midst of watching the 1992 Survivor Series. I'm already halfway through it. So as soon as I finish watching that, you guys are going to get another podcast, audio podcast, for Off the Script Retro. That's $3 or more. Plus, you're going to get everything that the $1 tier offers you. If you guys want to raise that to $5 or more, it was originally supposed to be Beer Goons. No more. You're getting Mario Kart Mondays exclusively on Patreon, man. You guys want the rage. You guys want the funny moments. You guys want Toad. You guys want Luigi. You guys want the NWO. Formerly Luigi and Toad of the NWO. Coming to Patreon, man. I can't wait to go out and get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for you guys and start recording that. $5 or more are going to be the ones to get Mario Kart Mondays on patreon.com. Plus, you're going to get everything all the other tiers offer as well. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Shoutouts for the Patreon crew, man, this month. We got Matt pledging $1. We got Beyondy Nilham pledging $5. He raised it from $3. We got Esco pledging $5. My good buddy Evan Hay, man. What's up, Evan? He raised his pledge to $5 from $3.16. We got Michael Atkins pledging $3. We got Johnny Patterson pledging $3. What's up, bro? We got Chris Neal pledging $3. Kevin Carter raising his pledge from $1 to $5. We got Jim Green. What is up, the villain? Jim Green, 666. He raised it to $12. What's up, brother? We got Deborah Peterson raising her pledge from $1 to $3. Jess raising her pledge from $6.78 to a full $10. What is up, Jess? Michael Smith pledging $1. JP pledging $1. Matthew Gutierrez pledging $5. Yobi Dren pledging $5. Richard Sparks pledging $5. Eric Findlay pledging $5. Look at this fucking beast. Jimmy Skaggs. He was already a $25 patron. He raised it to $45. Jimmy, you fucking savage. What is up, brother? Thank you so very much. Michael, if I'm going to mispronounce your last name, bro, I'm a fucking goon. Michael Majlesi pledging $3. We got Lionel Santana pledging $3. We got Joshua Lewandowski pledging $3. We got, who else we got here? And that was it. That's the last one. Joshua was the last one, pledging $3, man. Thank you guys so very much. You guys are fucking beast. Let's fucking, at the end of August, man, we got, what we got? SummerSlam week coming up. Let's fucking kick it into high gear, man. If you guys want all that great content that I'm offering you, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you all so very much. You are making it a lot easier on YouTube. I will tell you that, man. YouTube is not really treating its content creators well at all right now. Subscriber stories, man. I want to start off with this one. I was looking at this one last week, and it's a long one. This one's coming from Terry Stockton. He wrote in on July 25th at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. He's writing all the way from Alabama. Hey, JD, how's it going? And by the way, if you guys want to get in your subscriber stories, JD from NY206 at yahoo.com. Hey, JD, how's it going? My story's a long one. It was, well, I'm sorry, I fucked up already. My story is a long one, 34 years young. I started off young in the world of drugs. My dad retired Coast Guard, and mom is mom, LOL. They used for my childhood. Father quit when I was 14, and mom has stopped the hard ones recently in the last 4 years. I used from 13 on to 30, and had a prison stint at 29 and turned 30 in prison. There is many, many stories from them, years I won't go into. LOL. This would be a whole off the script. I wanted to share the hardest decision I've ever made. I was a semen donor in the sense, I'm reading this word for word. If it sounds a little off, it's because of how Terry wrote it to me, okay? I'm reading what he says. I'm going to try my best to read it as best I can. I was a semen donor in the sense I was with a girl in my drugging days. I find strength in my story where some find a distaste for it, but the point is, fuck what others think. I'm living this life, not them. At age 27, I was with a girl. I checked into AA with my dad. She couldn't get off pills. We fought about it, and she decided she would try and love from our town. She was on parole and moved to her sister's and kept up the addiction, new ways, and went back to prison while pregnant with Braden. I stayed with her for a few months. She kept up the drug talk while in there, so I broke it off with her while she was still in there. I legit was trying sobriety, but I decided to go to a bar, and one thing led to another, and this girl I knew was there, an old girlfriend, and had a friend with her I kind of knew, and we hooked up that night, and I stayed with her for 3 years, but as my baby mama. I don't want to say her name, it's disrespectful. Was in prison, carrying my child. I just got someone, so needless to say, she kept Braden from me when she had him after she got out. I had to drive from Texas to Louisiana to see him. The 2 times I got to see him, as she moved with her mom after she got out, she was still using, and she lost custody of him. Well, I started using as I thought. She had him and was working and sending her money. One day I decided I was going to check into rehab, so I am in the waiting room to get checked in, and I get a call from a lawyer asking, do I want custody of my son? And I had to be there in Louisiana in 1 week, as he has been in the state's custody for 25 days, and they were going to give him to the family he has been with for those days. I then decided no rehab, and I'm going to get my son. I was living with my dad and went to custody hearings for 2 months in Louisiana. They had Braden with the mom's family of my baby mama, so through meeting with them and my dad and girlfriend gripes with me and how I was back then, and my self-pity and image of myself turned my decision. I gave them custody of Braden, and it was the hardest decision, but the best decision for him. He's doing great and had a great life. I hear from him on occasion. He doesn't know who I am, though. Never has. He thinks I'm just a family member. I may not have articulated that story very well, but you should get how hard it was. I'm a great person to my core. I have made many bad decisions, but that one was one of my good ones. I wasn't fit then as much as I tried to fool myself and others, and they knew it. I'm doing great now. I've moved from Texas and all that negative life. I live a pure life I can be proud of now. I have a beautiful family. I have 2 stepkids I am proud to be a father to, and a wonderful lover to spend my life with. I'm not rich, but I get by okay. This is just a story to show people will always be people. We all fall. We all fail. It's how you bounce back and never give up that shows the character within. Your show has the vision of this aspect, and your appreciation for our stories is your character that I commend, and I love your passion for the WWE, and your drive to make it better makes me smile. I love your work. Keep it up, and never let people get under your skin. We are our worst critics, and we don't need the assistance from outside influence. Thank you for being you, Jerry. Thanks from a gracious goon, Terry Stockton from Alabama. That was indeed one of probably the most personal stories that we've read on subscriber stories right here on Off the Script. Terry, I'm glad you're doing well, man. And I'm glad you're living a pure life. I'm glad you bounced back from all that troublesome past, from all that heartache. I'm glad you made a good decision, the best decision for Braden. And you know, I can't really thank you in words for your appreciation and for what you are to this show. I thank you, brother, and I hope you are well going into the future, and I hope everything continues to get better and stay good for you, man. Thank you so much. I mean, personal stories like that, man, it really leaves me kind of speechless. You know, even now I've been doing this for 4 years, you know. And just recently full-time because I don't work retail anymore. And hearing stories like that and how this show affects people, man, it still blows my mind to the point where, you know, I just love doing this for you guys, man. So Terry, thank you, brother. And you know, you got my email, man. Keep me up to date on how things are going, man. You know, don't be afraid to reach out. But thank you for your subscriber story, man, and I greatly appreciate your support of what I do here. I got one here from a longtime goon. This one is Sways on YouTube, Brock. All the way from New Zealand, brother. What is up, JD? I'm 18 years old from New Zealand, and I am one of your biggest fans, and by far, you are my favorite YouTuber for the past couple of years. Thank you, brother. My most favorite things from you is Kevin Dunn impressions and the Titus Catering Worldwide. I watch your content every day, and when I was working full-time at the beginning of the year, I'd listen to all your podcasts while working, making the day go by fast. I'm currently studying to get my personal training qualification too, and working part-time till the end of the year. I am writing you today because I'm trying to make a big change to my life, and I need your advice, brother. I have just gone through the final stages of completing my enrollment for the Army as of next year. I am aiming to get in under Information Systems Operator, which is an IT computer thing. Yes, I can most likely get accepted, but this would mean that I would have to stop doing what I am doing, what I love in YouTube videos and possibly streaming, which I don't want to do at all, as it is a massive part of my life. Because the interview at the end, interview at the end, she said she looked my channel up, and yes, she said it should be fine, but maybe in the next couple of weeks before they decide on who goes in or not, to take some of my videos down and be less active on social media, where in no way I don't want to stop that, as it's what I love. Also, my parents get really angry at me that I'd not want to go in due to YouTube and Twitch. Yes, I'm 18 and probably won't make it big, but it's a dream of mine, and I don't want to stop doing what I love to do. I'm confused on what to do. I'm currently looking around websites if I can study anywhere in New Zealand, such as like doing an IT course over here, or try to do a course to do with business or even gaming. Just want some help and advice. It feels like I don't get a say when I bring up gaming. My parents get heaps angry, and it feels like I can't get a say in, and get threatened to get kicked out if I don't join the Army. I do have potential on Twitch, as I have a sub button and 900 followers, but I just treat it as a hobby for now. I know they want what's best for me and my career pathway, but at the same time, it's my life, and I want to continue no matter what, being active on YouTube and Twitch and social media as Twitter, such as Twitter. It's very hard, but if Army don't want me doing YouTube, then I'm going to look for other options. So hard, man. But anyway, cheers for reading. Cheers, JD, and all the best. I will say this, man. I don't know how passionate you are about the IT thing. I don't know how passionate you are about the Army. It seems like, from what I read, you said that you're aiming to get in under Information Systems Operator, which is an IT computer thing for the Army. Now, if you took the steps now to enroll and try and get in there, I'm assuming that there is a passion there, because making a decision such as going into the Army, to me anyway, that's a decision that does not come easy. You know, you're going to be away from your friends, you're going to be away from your family. That's a very, very difficult decision to do, as you're pretty much undertaking a whole new life. You're going to meet a whole new group of people. Your career is going to be up front first and foremost, more than anything. What I will say to you is this. I am a nobody on here. Okay, I got 81,000 people subscribe to me. More like fucking 30 to 40,000 people who legitimately watch me, you know. A lot of dead subs. That goes for every channel. You know, it took me years to get a Twitch partnership. I'm an affiliate partner now, where I can start making money on there, because I love streaming. All I will say is this. I would not bypass your career and your passion for IT computer, you know, tech, or getting into the Army. If you made that decision, clearly there's a passion there. Right now, as far as you are concerned, Twitch, 900, 9,000, it doesn't matter. Twitch and YouTube is a hobby. The way YouTube is, and the lay of the land on YouTube right now, is people who are fucking 100 times bigger than I am are struggling. I quit at the worst fucking possible time. I went into this full time at the worst possible time. I feel like if I made this decision maybe a year ago, I would probably be at 100,000 subscribers right now. The fact that I quit my job and I'm doing this full time now, with all this nonsense going on with the ad revenue and people not getting paid and just a bunch of bullshit. I picked the wrong fucking time, of course. You know, don't rely on YouTube. Don't rely on social media. Don't rely on Twitch. If you need to take a break, take a break. The people who watch you, the people who support you on YouTube and Twitch, if they care about you and if they are a fan of your channel, they will understand that you are making a career decision to better yourself. They should all know that what you're doing now is not going to benefit you in the future. Working in the Army, getting into the Army, working that IT computer thing is going to make your future. You got to worry about yourself, man. Worry about yourself. YouTube and Twitch, you're worrying about other people and entertaining other people. It's not going to benefit you. This is going to benefit you. Go 100% into the Army. Go do the IT computer thing. Twitch, YouTube, social media, they will all be there for you when you are out of the Army and graduate with this computer IT thing. They will all be waiting for you when you are done. If you're capable, if you're still allowed to stream every now and then, throw up a stream. By all means, keep it as a hobby. You getting into the Army is what's going to make you a man. It's gonna build a future for you and your potential family, you know. And you might even meet somebody. You might meet your future wife, you know. You might have a whole new fucking path of life just develop right in front of you. Don't bypass that to sit home and do YouTube and Twitch. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Go and do what you got to do. Twitch, YouTube, and social media, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff will be waiting for you in the end. That's my honest advice to you. Because I know you've donated to the show. I know you've watched the show for many years. That is my God-honest advice from a friend to a friend. That's my advice to you. So I hope you listen. I hope you take my words into consideration. And I want to thank you for the years of watching me and the years of support. Guys like you are really what make this show very special, man. Brock, thank you so much, brother. And keep me updated, please. You got my Twitter. You got my email. Let me know what's going on. And follow up with me, as always. So thank you so much, man. We're going to move on here, man. We're going to do one more. I want to do Harley. We're going to do Harley. Harley's writing me on August 9th at 3:30 a.m. Hello, JD. I go by HJ, but my actual name is Harley. And I am from southeastern Kentucky. Let me start by saying I have not been a subscriber long, since about maybe this past Royal Rumble, and I found you by total accident. Well, that review was venomous in its own right, which actually got demonetized on YouTube, by the way. But that review did over 150,000 views, man. My God, was I angry in that review. However, I'm glad I did. A little bit of backstory. I am 21 now and going to college as an aspiring education major for science and history. This being said, the life I have now was not always guaranteed, as I was diagnosed with leukemia in May 2011, when I was 15. Fast forward 3 years, and I am free from the cancer and chemo. However, I was left a dude with bad legs as a result of side effects from one of the chemos. Glad to hear that the cancer is no more. That's the most important thing. Let me read on. Due to this, however, I am able to attend college, as I mentioned before, due to a government program that allows a disabled individual funding to go to school to get a degree to re-enter the workforce. With the catch, you must pass your classes or you lose the funding. Also, being in the teaching program, I not only have to pass my classes, but must maintain a B in every class. Fast forward to the spring semester of my junior year of college, and I am beyond struggling. I may as well have been Bailey in the kendo stick on a pole match. Oh my God, man. Please, don't refer to yourself like that. Don't ever refer to yourself like that. Anybody listening, please don't refer to yourself as that. You don't want to be referred to as cringely. I was having to commute approximately 2 hours to and from the main campus twice a week, plus my other classes at my local campus, my internships I have to complete each semester, any homework I may have accumulated. This being the case, I went into extreme survival mode, in which I got maybe 3 hours of sleep a night, if I slept at all, skipped meals, denied myself any downtime whatsoever, and grinded through whatever was due, and I was fading fast. While on my drives up to class, I would often hit up some wrestling news or music just so I could stay awake, and at the end, or at the very least, relax a little bit. Well, it was during one of these drives I happened across one of your Smackdown reviews and results videos in which grabbed you a sub the instant I found a parking spot. From that point forward, it was you and your channel maintaining my sanity. I would have your reviews off the script or my AJ Lee audiobook from Audible, using your Audible link, in April playing at all times, so grinding through everything wasn't as brutal. Heck, I even had them playing through my headphones during class at some points just to keep myself from passing out from sheer exhaustion. The point of this story is to tell you why I want to thank you for your channel, every single shred of content and effort you put into it. When the pressure was on and failure was not an option, without losing my chance at a career that I want, at least, you and your channel played a huge part in getting me through it, and for that I cannot thank you enough. I ended up with 4 A's and 2 B's. You, sir, earned the $5 pledge each month to the channel. More actually, I just can't afford it at the moment. I apologize that this was so long of a sub-story. I guess you could call it a sub-book at this point. Anyway, if you do read this, I would love to hear from you just so I know you at least saw it. But if it did get read on off the script, that would be almost as epic as that Kevin Dunn bit you did on Tuesday. Signed, HJ. Thank you so much, man. Again, you know, I'm glad to see that you're attributing me and this show to keeping your sanity, you ended up with 4 A's and 2 B's. That's fucking awesome, dude. The way you were describing yourself, it felt like you were fucking gonna fall off the face of the earth. You know, it felt like you were gonna fall off the fucking edge of the earth here. You know? And then you mentioned me in my reviews and, you know, what I've done simply sitting here in this bedroom in front of this microphone, and you attribute that to keeping you sane and giving you that drive to you know, maintain your sanity and just relax and get through the work because you had another outlet. It's like you almost took my anger and you kind of lived vicariously through my anger. Like you were angry, you were frustrated, and you used all mine, and you kind of just fucking fed off that, you know. But 4 A's and 2 B's, man, that's fucking great. And again, I sometimes you guys leave me speechless, man. I really don't know what to say, you know. I'm just a regular dude from the fucking Bronx who does this because he loves doing it. But you know, the fact that you're a $5 Patreon, thank you so much. The fact that you have used this outlet, this channel, this podcast to end up with 4 A's and 2 B's, that's fucking great, man. I'm proud of you, and I'm proud that you are a loyal goon right here on Off the Script. Thank you so much, man. Keep me updated. Every one of you guys, everybody that I read, man, keep me updated. Send me a follow-up email. If anything happens to you, good or bad, let me know. And title it as such. But, Harley, thank you so much, man. And I'm glad to see that you're doing well. And I'm going to do my best to continue to maintain your sanity levels on Off the Script. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that has pledged. And thank you to everybody that has shared your subscriber story with me. Again, if you guys want to send in your subscriber stories like Harley and Terry, make sure to email me, jdfromny206@yahoo.com. Please include your name and where you are from, and I will see you guys right back here, as always, Sunday with more subscriber stories, each and every Sunday right here on Off the Script. Thank you for another great weekend of Off the Script. Next week is SummerSlam, man. There's going to be vlogs. There's going to be fucking meet and greets. House of Glory is on Friday night. NXT TakeOver on Saturday. SummerSlam on Sunday. It's going to be a big fucking week, and I can't fucking wait, man. Thank you guys so much. I hope to meet most of you in Brooklyn if you guys are going to be in and around New York City SummerSlam weekend, and I will hope to see each and every one of you next weekend as we roll on to the biggest party of the summer. I'll see you guys right here next week on episode 183 of Off the Script. I am JD. Thank you guys for everything that you do, and I'll see you next week right here on Off the Script. Talk to you later.